Hey folks, we're gonna get right into it today. We're page 19 of the big book. There is a solution. None of us make a sole vocation. I talked about this of our work, nor do we think its effectiveness would increase if we did. So yeah, I mean, we're not supposed to make AA our entire life. Hence, this is why I'm doing videos. I will sponsor if I ever meet you in a meeting. There will be some dates up ahead where I'll have some live events that I'll be at, and tickets will be available. Very economical, also. Whole weekend. So I'll continue with if we keep on the way we are going, there is little doubt that much good will result, but the surface of the problem would hardly be scratched. Those of us who live in large cities are overcome by the reflection that closed by hundreds are dropping into oblivion every day. Many could recover if they had the opportunity we have enjoyed. How then shall we present that which has been so freely given to us? We have concluded to publish an anonymous volume setting forth the problem as we see it. We shall bring to the task our combined experience and knowledge. This should suggest a useful program for anyone concerned with the drinking problem. Of necessity, there will have to be discussion of matters medical, psychiatric, social, and religious. We are aware that these matters are, from their very nature, controversial. Nothing would please us so much as to write a book which would contain no basis for contention or argument. We shall do our utmost to achieve that ideal. Most of us sense that real tolerance of other people's shortcomings and viewpoints and a respect for their opinions are attitudes which make us more useful to others. Our very lives as ex-problem drinkers or users depend upon our constant thought of others and how we may help meet their needs. You may already have asked yourself, why is it that all of us became so very ill from drinking or using? Doubtless, you are curious to discover how and why. In the face of expert opinion to the contrary, we have recovered. Again, they use that past tense. We've recovered. It's not recovering. It's not in recovery. It's recovered. We are recovered from a hopeless condition of mind and body. If you are an alcoholic who wants to get over it, you may already be asking, what do I have to do? It is the purpose of this book to answer such questions specifically. We shall tell you what we have done before going into a detailed discussion. It may be well to summarize some points as we see them. How many times people have said to us, I can take it or leave it alone. Why can't he? Why don't you drink like a gentleman or quit? The fellow can't handle his liquor. Why don't you try beer and wine? Lay off the hard stuff. His willpower must be weak. He could stop if he wanted to. She's such a sweet girl. I should think he'd stop for her sake. The doctor told him that if he ever drank again, it would kill him. But there he is, all lit up again. Now these are commonplace observations on drinking, which we hear all the time. Back of them is a world of ignorance and misunderstanding. So if you use certain illicit street drugs out there, you could die. There's no two ways about it. You could die. So why are we using them? Why? And when people look at you, they can't figure out why you're using them. Why is it you want to die? That's a normal person's thought. That's not our thought. Our thought is we're going to beat it. We're going to beat the chances of dying. It's not going to happen to me. It's going to happen to somebody else. They're not as strong as me. our whole ego, for the most part, or especially in the way how I used, was tied up in the bravado of not dying from drinking or using drugs. I mean, that's what made me tough. But likely I wasn't. Now, these are commonplace observations on drinkers or users, which we hear all the time. Back of them is a world of ignorance and misunderstanding. We see that these expressions refer to people whose reactions are very different from ours. 1. Modern drinkers have little trouble in giving up liquor entirely if they have good reason for it. They can take it or leave it alone. So with good reason, I don't really want to drink this weekend. I don't want to really use. I don't need to. That's not me. It was me, and then my disease is progressive, so it wasn't eventually. Number 2, then we have a certain type of hard drinker. He may have a habit badly enough to gradually impair him physically and mentally, if it may cause him to die a few years before his time, if a sufficiently strong reason, ill health, falling in love, change of environment, or a warning of a doctor becomes operative. This man or person can also stop or moderate, although he may find it difficult and troublesome, and may even need medical attention. So we're talking about somebody who is a heavy drinker, but with sufficient reason they can stop. To me, and this is just my opinion, if I was on a harm reduction drug, I would still use other drugs. I'm an addict. Just because I'm on a harm reduction drug, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop drinking and I'm going to stop using other drugs that are stimulants as opposed to a harm reduction drug that's given to me. It's just going to be a part of my repertoire. That's it. I'm an addict. Some people who are a number 2 here may find sufficient of reason to stop using all the other drugs and be able to wean themselves off with a harm reduction drug. That's not me. I'm not one of those people. Number 3, but what about the real alcoholic / addict? He may start off as a moderate drinker, which I did. He may or may not become a continuous hard drinker in number 2, which I was. But at some stage of his drinking career or using, he begins to lose all control of his liquor consummation. Once he starts to drink or use. Once I start, I cannot stop. Cannot stop. I'm grateful today that I actually have a choice. I did not have a choice before. It was just a part of my day. That's where the allergy sets in, right? I'm so grateful for a choice today. But that's a real addict. That's a real user. You can qualify yourself, like I said, way long time ago. You can qualify yourself just by being honest with yourself. Where are you in this? It's not a graduation to be a number 3. It's a realization. Hey, God willing, I wish I was only a number 2, but I am a number 3. I'm a full-on alcoholic addict. Here is the fellow who has been puzzling you, especially in the lack of control. He does not absurd, incredible, tragic things while drinking. He is a real Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He is seldom mildly intoxicated. He is always more or less insanely drunk or high. His disposition while drinking resembles his normal nature, but little. He may be one of the finest fellows in the world, yet let him drink for a day and he frequently becomes disgustingly and even dangerously antisocial. Meaning criminal activity. That's what they mean by antisocial, or not really participating in any positive nature in society. That's what they mean by antisocial. He has a positive genius for getting tight at exactly the wrong moment, particularly when some important decision must be made or engagement kept. He is often perfectly sensible and well balanced concerning everything except liquor, but in that respect he is incredibly dishonest and selfish. He often possesses special abilities, skills, and aptitude and aptitudes, and has a promising career ahead of him. He uses his gifts to build up a bright outlook for his family and himself, and then pulls the structure down on its head by senseless series of sprees. He is the fellow who goes to bed so intoxicated he ought to sleep the clock round, yet early next morning he searches madly for a bottle he misplaced the night before. So that's a pretty good observation of who we are, right? If you're number 3, welcome aboard. Hope you get to a meeting today. I really, really hope that you're getting something out of these videos. Please share. If you have any questions, drop it down below. I will respond to any comments, any questions you may have. I truly hope you have a wonderful day today, and we'll see you at the next video.